Do you ever wish that your PlayStation 4 controller had slightly longer battery life? Do you wish it had paddles at the back? Do you wish that it could connect to various different systems so you could just get used to the one controller rather than having a different controller for each system? If you do, maybe this is the video for you, because here we have the Brook Marine adapter, which converts a standard controller into a controller with 4 paddles at the back. As well as that, by turning this dial around the top, we can connect it to various different systems. So now I'm going to show you the different systems it connects to, and also what it can and can't do, and go in depth of how to connect up each and every single system. So sit back and enjoy. So with this, motion controls will also work on the Nintendo Switch. If you check this out now, accelerating, and can you see it turning up on screen? And then I've got the paddles mapped to ZR and ZL. So if I want to use the power up now, watch this. Can you see? Yeah. And just round the corner I can use the other paddle. Right, and turn. And drift. Yeah. And then power up. So there we go. Let's do another one. So you can use the face buttons or the paddles if you choose. So right now I've got the paddles set to jump and fire. You can see using that to enter. Let's do another one. Motion controls will work, and as well as that, the headphone jack will work as well. So if you watch this now, I've just got the mono headset in, and if I was to speak into here, PlayStation, you see it comes up. All commands. And if you have a look, as far as the paddle's concerned, if we move along, and if I was to go to settings and hit this button here, I've got this mapped to X, and you can see it's gone in here. So let's say now if you wanted to connect up X to this top one here, what you would do is Options and PlayStation, press the button you want to use, then press Share and X, and then press Options, PlayStation, and now whenever we go into something, all we have to do is press this button here and it will work the same as going into X. Yeah? Right, let's move on. How about if you want to do a bit of gaming on your iOS device? So here we have an Apple XR, we've got Roblox playing, and this is Tiny Tanks, and if you have a look, I've got the top paddle here set up so it actually fires the same as R2. Right, so there you go, they're the different devices it will work on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a completely new device that's never been opened before. I'm going to get a completely different PlayStation 4 controller, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to set it up on each of these different devices. Okay, so brand new Marine adapter, completely different PlayStation 4 controller. These have never been connected up before, so let me show you how easy or possibly how hard some of it may be. So take it out. We have the adapter here, and we've got the little paddles here. Now the paddles for the top are different than the paddles on the bottom, so they have to go on in a certain way, but I'll show you that in a minute. And we have the instructions here. We've also got a little sticker and a little coin to do up this bottom bit here. So now if you got the one without the battery, because if you have a look at the back here, it says before using this product you must install an 18650 battery. Now these batteries are very common. I believe if you're into vaping, I think they're the batteries that's used in that. Also you find these batteries in loads and loads of power banks as well. So now I didn't have one, but I have got a power bank here, so I'm going to take the one out of here. Now when it comes to the size of the battery, it says in the instructions here that says this product has two versions, battery version and non-battery version. When you choose to purchase Marine with battery version, it includes a 3,350 milliamp hour 18650 lithium battery, which takes 4 hours to be fully charged and 8 hours continuous use. However, if you purchased a non-battery version, please remember to purchase one of these lithium batteries. So now if you have a look here, I'm just going to take apart this little power bank. But you can get these batteries on eBay ranging from a couple of pounds up to around about £6 depending on the brand. So what we have to do is we have to undo this here, and you can see we have a positive and a negative. Now I know that this side here is the positive and this side here is the negative. On a lot of the batteries it will actually have a plus on here. So I'm going to place it in here like so, and I fully charge this one. Now we need to put these paddles in. So you can already see the tiny little switches here. These are the little switches that you're going to press in when you're using the paddles. And we have 4 of them. And if you have a look at these ones here, they've each got a design in them. So if you have a look, there's like a notch out here and here. So they are the ones that's going to fit on this side here. And the way you're going to fit them is this way. So you're going to put it in here like that and just drop it down. And you can see it's gone into those 2 little grooves. So now we're going to get this one here. This one doesn't have the grooves. This has got a little hole in it for that little peg there. So again, putting them in this way round. Yep, so they're going down. If you put them in the wrong way where they stick up, then they're not going to operate properly when you put them onto the controller. Right, so that's that. Now you don't have to connect them all. If you only want to use 2 paddles, just leave it like that. If you want to use the bottom 2 paddles, then you can just have the bottom 2 paddles and take out that one. If you only want to have one, that's absolutely fine. So now what we're going to do is just put this little cover on, and it clips into place. Sometimes it takes a couple of goes to get it fully clipped in because it's just plastic into plastic. So now we're going to use this little thing here. You can use a coin or you can even use your nail as well. It's not done up very tight to undo. This is the thing where it clips into the bottom of the PlayStation controller and locks it into place. So you can see that slides up and down here. So what we have to do is, can you see there's a little micro USB here? That's the thing that's going to fit into this port here. Now it can be a little bit fiddly the first time you do it, but if you have a look, can you see there, it just goes like that and slots in like so. Then you get this bit, and this rectangle and cylinder corresponds to the headphone jack here and the extension port here. So what we're going to do is just line that up in there, and again you do have to use a bit of force to push that into place. There we go. Okay, so now that is into place and you can see the hole lines up. We're going to get the screw and we're just going to do it up. Don't have to do it tight, that will do. Now if you have a look at the top here, we've got various different symbols. So this top symbol and the bottom symbol here is basically off, so that's power off. See there's a little notch here? When we turn this dial here to match the notch up here, it will say what we're on. So this is PlayStation 4, that's PlayStation 3, that's Nintendo Switch NS, that's Android AD, that is off. That's PC, that is iOS, so Apple devices. This is a backup which I believe is not currently used. This is when you do your update on your firmware. And again, this is off, and this is the switch you press in the middle to basically connect it to those devices. So for example, when we go onto the Nintendo Switch, we're going to go to NS for Nintendo Switch, and we're going to tap this button here, and when we tap it, it will start flashing down here. But the very first time we connect it to each device, we will have to basically sync it to that device, and that takes a tiny little bit of time, not long, you're going to see it now, but from then on you only ever have to tap that button once the initial syncing is done. So let's start with the Nintendo Switch. So with this one here, we're going to go into the controllers menu, and we're going to go to change grip order and just leave it on that page there. Now you can see at the moment it's all off. We've already put it to Nintendo Switch up here. If you haven't, move it around to Nintendo Switch. We need to hold this down for around 2 or 3 seconds until the lights start flashing 2 colours. I believe it's red and blue. So watch this. Pressing it now, keeping it held. There you go. Blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. Now let's just leave that for a while. and what will happen is it will eventually come up on here. Now I'm doing this in real time. There we go, you can see paired, and now it's done. Alright, and now remember it's going to mimic the actual Pro controllers. So this one here will be the same as A, X will be B, Y will be square, and triangle will be X. So everything you see on here is being mimicked on here now. So for example, if we want to go back, we're going to be pressing X, and if we want to go into something, we're going to be pressing circle, which is the same as A. And that is basically it. If you want to take a picture, all you have to do is hit the screen like this. If you want to take a video, which we won't be able to do on here, you just hold this down. It says unable to take a video capture now. But everything else will work as it should do. For example, the home button, we've got all the buttons here, motion controls will work, and you've got your minus and also your plus. Yeah. So that is it. Now, let's say if we were to turn it off, and then the next day come to use it again, it's fine. All we have to do is go to Nintendo Switch and it will work again. But you cannot wake the system up. So let me just show you the system waking up with the proper Pro controller. So watch this now. If I was to hold down the home button and go into sleep mode, with the Pro controller, you can see it's turned off. All I have to do is hold down the home button and it will liven the Nintendo Switch up like that. You won't be able to do that with the Brook Marine adapter. But look now, you can see we're not synced up at the moment because we're off. All we have to do is go to NS and look, just tap that once, you will see it will flash. After about 3 or 4 seconds it will go to solid, and now we're connected. So now if we go to sleep mode by holding this down, go to sleep mode, we will not be able to wake it up by here. So you can see it has disconnected it, but now if I go to this button here, it won't do anything. And even if I press this button here, can you see? It's not going to sync up because the Nintendo Switch is off. But it's fine because all we have to do is turn on the Nintendo Switch in a normal way, and then you can see it's all ready to go again. And of course it works in docked mode, just like it does in handheld and tabletop mode as well. So now we're going to connect it to the PlayStation 4 Slim. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it to where it says P4. So we're just going to rotate it around once like that. And now, because it's the first time we're doing it, we're going to plug in a micro USB cable into here, and then the other end of this cable into the PlayStation 4 into here. And that will automatically connect it up. There we go. And now you heard it sound up there. And if you have a look now, I can go into it. And once we're now connected, I can disconnect this and it will keep working wirelessly. And then I can connect up all the paddles, and it will also work with the headphone jack and also motion controls as well. And next time we come to use this, we don't need that USB cable again. All we have to do is put it to P4, and then we just need to tap the button, not even hold it down, just tap it, and you will see after a few seconds it will go to solid, and now you can see it's connected again. To initially sync it up to the PlayStation 3, whether that be the fat one, the slim or the super slim, we need to use a wired connection. So get the micro USB to USB cable, and we're going to plug the micro USB into there, and then we're going to plug the other end into a spare USB port. And then we're going to move this dial round to where it says P3, like that. And now it will automatically sync itself up. And you can see now, it's done it, but it's still a wired connection. So let's unplug that, and now it will work as a wireless connection. And next time we go to use it, we just have to tap it. So let's turn it off. You can see it's off now. Put it back to P3. Just give it one little tap until it syncs up, like that. And that's how you do it. Again, the paddles will work. Let's show you another one. So to connect this to the PC, what we have to do is we have to revolve this to where it says PC, and then we have to press the button in for a couple of seconds. So you can see there, PC, and now I'm going to hold it in for a couple of seconds until it's flashing blue and red down at the bottom here.
We're then going to go over, this is a Windows 10 PC, and we're going to go down to the Windows icon and we're going to go to Settings. We're then going to go to Devices, and then I'm going to go to Add Bluetooth or Other Device. Then I'm going to click on Bluetooth here. And now it says make sure that your device is turned on and discoverable. Select the device below. Right, so now it's come up with input there. And it's changed it over now to P4 battery pack PC mode. So let's click on that one and then hopefully it will connect. So I'm clicking on that one and it's saying connecting. And there we go, P4 battery pack PC mode is done. We're ready to go. Now let me just show you it working on a game.
We'll get red hot. Here goes.
And there you go, you can see it working here on Cuphead. So I've been trying to connect it up to the iOS device and I'm struggling. I can't do it to my iPad because it just doesn't come up as a device at all. On my iPhone 6S it's refusing to pair, but that is using an old version. On my iPad I'm using 13.2, so it should work, but it's not. I have got it working on this iPhone XR using the other Brook adapter, but this one is not working. So I've updated it now, so let's try it again. So we're going to move this to where it says OS, and now we're going to hold down the button for a couple of seconds until it starts flashing blue and red. Like that. And now let's go into the phone here, turn on Bluetooth, and let's see if it's recognised. Right, okay, so it took that long that it turned itself off here, and you can see it still hasn't been recognised here. So I'm just going to mess around with this for a little bit longer. This time I'm going to do this one first, and now I'm going to do this one. There we go, it's come up now. So let's tap that and let's see if it pairs this time. No, pairing unsuccessful. So unfortunately I'm going to have to give this one a miss. You've seen it working earlier using this one here. I did forget this one on the Bluetooth here, but maybe for some reason, maybe it's seen a similarity between this one and this one, and now that I forgot this one it's confusing it. I really don't know. Let's move on to the next one. To do the initial connection on an Android phone, we need to go to AD. So let's move it around. And we need to hold this button down for a few seconds until we get the blue and red light underneath, like this. Now we're going to go into the phone, we're going to go to settings, we're going to go to connections, we're going to go to Bluetooth, we're going to turn Bluetooth on, and now it's going to search for nearby devices. There we go, it's come up there, P4 battery pack Android mode. So tap that, and now it's going to pair, and this light will go to solid. There we go, and you can see it's gone to solid green, and now it's connected. Now you can see we can navigate the phone using the controller. And of course the paddles will work on this as well. Now just to show you how easy it is to change between them once they're initially set up, let's just do a quick example using an Android phone, Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 3. So at this moment in time we're still connected to the Android phone down here. Let's say now if we want to play PlayStation 3, all we have to do is go to this switch here and change it from Android to PlayStation 3. So moving it round to P3, and then just tap the button and you will see it will flash, then it will go to solid, and once it's solid we're now ready to connect to the PlayStation 3. Let's bring it down here and do exactly the same on the Nintendo Switch. So we're going to move it to NS for the Nintendo Switch, tap the button, it will flash. Once it goes to solid, it will be paired up with the Nintendo Switch. And if we want to go back to Android again, go to AD, tap the button till it goes to solid, and again you can see now how easy it is. Now a lot of people are going to be wondering about lag. Now to me I can't tell any difference between using this setup here or the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller. To me they all feel the same, but then again I'm not a professional gamer. So I think what I'm going to do is go to the test controller buttons and I'm going to show you the difference between here and also the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller, and then you can slow down the video yourself and decide whether or not you can see any lag. So for me I can't notice it, but let me just show you. So if we go in here now and if I zoom right in, Watch this. Okay, and now compare that to the actual Pro controller, which is designed for the Nintendo Switch. So to me, they feel exactly the same. I can't tell the difference between them. So as far as I'm concerned, the lag must be pretty good. So to set up the turbo function, and what this will allow you to do is just to hold down a button and do repeated presses. So rather than doing this constantly, you can just hold it down and it will do it for you. All we have to do is share and PlayStation button together at the same time. And lights will go out, it will vibrate. Then share and whatever button you want to do the turbo on. So let's pretend we want to do it on X here. So share X, again it vibrated, and then press options to save that, and PlayStation to finish it. Now if we were to go into the test button page, you can see now all the other buttons are still not turbo, but watch this. Yep. Let me zoom in a bit. Hold that down, doesn't do anything. Yeah, so it just repeatedly presses it. Where this might be useful is on a game like Street Fighter. Let me show you. Okay, so in Street Fighter, if you're playing E-Honda and you want to do the 100 hand slap, you can, of course, press it repeatedly, and you will get there. But watch this. Hold down triangle. And again. Now obviously this could be seen as cheating, so it might be useful if you had a problem with the dexterity of your fingers and you might find it hard to repeatedly press a button over and over again. Then it might give you more of a level playing field to be able to use the turbo button.
Now if you want to update the firmware on your Brook Marine adapter, in case for example Nintendo or another company might change something in the future, then what we need to do is use your PC. So go onto the Brook website and you want to go over to where it says support and go down and go to download, and then you want to go along until you find your adapter. So here we are, P4 adapter series. I'm going to click on that, and then I've downloaded the manual and also here where it says PC. Now I've saved them onto my desktop, so if I go out of that, you can click and open the PDF and then you can read about exactly how you have to do it, or you can just follow the steps in this video here now. So what we're going to do is you have to unzip it. So when you have this icon here, right click on it, and for example I'm using 7-zip and I've extracted the files. When you extract the files, it will bring up this new icon just below it here. So let's click on that and then I can show you what to do. So now if you have a look, we've got this one here and we have PS4 adapter, and this is the application. So we're going to click on that and then let it do its thing for 30 seconds or so. And then it will bring this one up here. And basically it tells you what to do. It says plug the P4 adapter, turn to update mode as shown, and press the switch button. So what we have to do is we have to get a USB cable, the micro USB cable, plug one end into your PC, and then the other end into the top of the Marine adapter. Obviously it only goes one way. Now have a look at this switch here, and with this one we need to go to is this one that looks like a refresh. Can you see this symbol here? So we're just going to move it round to that one there. You can see that there's a little dash on the Marine adapter here. So we've moved it to there, and now we're going to hit that button here. And now we're in this purple mode here. We're now going to go to next. And now it's just going to be updating. It says do not remove the converter. And you can see it's filling up the icon. Now it says turn to P4 mode as shown and then press the switch button. So now we're going to go back up here and we're going to go to P4. So you can see this symbol here, P4. So we're going to move over to P4 like that, and then like it says, press the switch button. And there we go, it says complete, and we can now finish. And that's how you update the firmware in case you ever have any issues, or in case Brook release further things on this in the future.
Now to remap the buttons, it's the same on whatever system you're connecting it to, because it's this here which is doing the remapping. So what we have to do is we have to hold down the options and the PlayStation button. This light will go out, and also you feel a little vibrate. So here we go, press them both at the same time. And it's vibrated there and the light's gone out. Now we need to choose the button that we want to remap. So let's say we're going to choose this one here. So we need to press this one and it vibrates again. Then we're going to press share and whatever button we want to swap it with. So let's say if we want to swap it for whatever reason with click in on the right analog stick, we're going to hold down share and click in, and it gives another little vibrate. And then we can go on to do more, but let's just do that one at the moment. So then we press options and then the PlayStation button. Now if I just go into this menu here, watch this, every time we press this, can you see it's coming up with R3. And we can still use R3 here. Right, so that's how you do that one. Now let's say if we want to delete those mappings, this is how we do that. We need to press and hold the PlayStation and the option buttons to go into the remapping settings again. And again goes off and it vibrates. Now we need to press and hold the share and the options button together. It vibrates again, and then hit the PlayStation button. Now this button will no longer do anything. You can see now it's not doing anything. In fact, all of them have been cancelled, so if you put whatever you put on these four, they have now been cancelled. Now let me show you how to remap 2 or possibly 3 or 4 buttons all at the same time. So what we're going to do is go to options and PlayStation. And let's choose this button here, and then we're going to press share and X or whatever button you want to use, and then press options. That's now saved it. Now we're going to hit this button and then again share, and we can do circle, options, that's now saved it. And now let's do this button here, and we can do share and triangle, options to save it, PlayStation to exit. And now if we go into this menu again, A, B, X, and nothing here. A, B, X, X, B, A. And you can still use the buttons here if you want. And according to the Brook website, the buttons available to remap are X, circle, square, triangle, D-pad, up, down, left, right, and L1, R1, L2, R2, L3, and R3. So for example, if you want to map your D-pad onto here, you can do. At the moment I've mapped this one to be left on the D-pad. Doesn't work to map the left or right analog stick, just the D-pad. And if you're wondering if you can connect 2 Brook Marine adapters to each device, the answer is yes. So if you have a look, this will be one. And this will be 2. There we go. Let me just show you them both working on the PlayStation 4. And you can see now these are both connected up to the PlayStation. So this is the blue one, player 1, and this one here is the red one, which is player 2. Let's just swap over to this one. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do a range test now between the Marine adapter here and just a standard PlayStation 4 controller. So I've got my daughter in the room, and to begin with I'm just going to be moving this one left and right. I'm going to leave the room with the controller and she's going to shout at me when it stops working. We're going to make a note of where we are, and then we're going to connect up this one, and then we're going to see where it stops working on this one. Right, so I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm leaving the room now. Now that's an extension out the back, so it normally stops working because it's a double brick wall pretty soon after leaving the room.
Now.
Okay, so it stopped working here, just on the boundary of the kitchen and the hall. Now let's do the same with the other one.
Right, so we do the same with this one. Okay, looks like we're good. Okay. Right, it's gone. Okay, so basically we got one step further. So it looks like range isn't going to be an issue on it whatsoever. And in case you're wondering, the analog sticks are definitely analog. So if you have a look here, can you see small amount, big amount? And that's the left and right stick as well. So if we go over to the right stick, again, you can see small amounts. Now what's clever about this little adapter is when you remap the buttons onto the paddles at the back, it will memorize each device, so you can have the paddles working for one thing, for example on the Nintendo Switch, and then another thing on your Android phone, and then for example another thing on your PlayStation 4. And it will always memorize them, so every time you connect in between the devices, it will remember those paddles, so you haven't got to keep remapping your buttons on every single device. So for example now, I'm on the Nintendo Switch, and if you have a look, if I enter into the test controller buttons there, if I press this button, it's the same as ZR, and this is the same as ZL. Yeah, ZR and ZL. Now you can still obviously use these buttons for your ZR and ZL, but let's say now on the Android phone, if we want the buttons to do something different, well, that's not a problem at all. All we have to do is go over to Android, hit the button, and then when it's connected, I'm going to show you what the buttons do here. So now if you have a look, I'm moving my way around, and this time if I press this one here, it's the same as the X. You can see I've gone into calculator, and this is the same as the circle, so in other words it's going to take me back out. So you can see they're doing different things on different devices. And now if I go back to the Nintendo Switch again, it will memorize exactly what we did before, which is ZL and ZR. Rumble does work on this as well, so it is supported. So if I go to search for controllers, I don't know if you can see that rumble in there. Let me put it against here. Yeah, okay. So now if you're wondering what it feels like, it feels pretty nice. In my opinion, and it is just an opinion, it doesn't feel as nice as the Xbox Elite controller because this feels like a better quality product. Also, if you have a look at the way the paddles are shaped, to me, I like having my fingers up here and then I can have this finger here and this finger here. Yeah, but then other people would hold it differently. They might have two fingers up here and then use these two fingers down here. With this one here, I find that for me the most comfortable way is one finger up here for these two buttons and then the finger here to do these two buttons here. To have the two fingers on here while having this finger here doesn't feel great, and if I hold it there I struggle to have my finger there and there. If it was me, and this is just me, my opinion, I would like it if these bottom ones here were shaped slightly down like they did with the Xbox ones here. But other people then would prefer just to have it like this, and they can use this finger to go in between both buttons there. So it is just a personal preference. And remember, this is a cheaper product than, for example, the Xbox Elite controller. If you really like using the PlayStation 4 controller and you like having the thumbsticks in this orientation here, then if you wanted to use the one controller because you were so used to it on the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4, your Nintendo Switch, PC, Android and iOS, then really you can't go wrong getting the Brook Marine adapter. Now prices are £54, so £53.99, and this is from a UK seller, so you won't have to wait weeks for it to arrive. It doesn't say whether that comes with the battery or not, but even if it doesn't come with the battery, then you're looking at about £3, £4, £5, £6 for the battery, depending on whether you wanted a branded one or an unbranded one. So you're probably looking at around about £60 to get this up and running. So it's certainly not cheap, but at the same time, if you've got multiple systems and you like your PlayStation 4 controller, then it might be an investment that you're willing to pay. So hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe for more of these type of videos. Take care. Bye now.